Welcome to the Founder Files, episode 7, where I will share the scars and the lessons and the unfiltered truths about being a founder and getting funded. So, this week, something with a little difference. My first investor meetings, with potential investors, pitch meetings effectively, were a whole new world. And yet at the same time they weren't, right? Because when you run your own business, you're used to selling your business and trying to convince others to invest in you or give money to you, like customers. It was not new in some cases, but it was at the same time a whole new world. It's very different selling your business for investment than it is to get a customer to buy into you and buy your product. A lot of similarities, but very different. And I prepped for them kind of the same way, bit by bit, like I was doing a big new client pitch. You'd have a few slides, you'd have some numbers, some details ready, some glossies, things you needed, materials ready at hand should you need them. I did a little script just to keep me from waffling and make sure I didn't miss out the important stuff or labor on the minor stuff. After a few of those, what gave me the edge was kind of having my investor prep checklist, which I started to kind of work on. When I had a new pitch coming up with a new investor, I would do pre-work first. So I would kind of comb through the websites. I would look at who they are, who the team is, what their values were, what they stood for, what they didn't stand for. I looked at LinkedIn bios, social media profiles if I could find them, studied those. There was a little tool I used to use, I forgot the name of it now, but it used to give you a psychological profile about the people using their LinkedIn or social media profiles. That was very good. Just to say, can I give you insights into how to pitch to them, how to sell to them, what they look for, what they don't. And a lot of time it was really accurate. I dig through Companies House as well and look through records there and then stitch it all together into kind of one big profile summary about the firm and the people I was doing to, because effectively you are pitching to a firm, but you're actually pitching to a person as well, and that's the most important thing to remember. But I'd tweak all of the slides and the script just enough that I kind of thought that I was mirroring their language and their tone and what they were looking for. And this was all before the likes of ChatGPT existed. So it was all quite a manual slog, getting that all pulled together and done, but worthwhile. Sometimes the homework and doing that in itself was invaluable. It taught me a lot about investments and what people were looking for. There were a lot of similarities. Other times, what they had projected online in the digital world to the outside world had bared no resemblance whatsoever to what I then saw sitting across the screen from me. Quite a lot of times actually that happened. But the prep gave me the confidence, and sometimes that's all you need. It was definitely all I needed. My first actual proper set of meetings went really well. And within a couple of months, we had an offer in principle, which I was really quite surprised about. But then the first scar, I was so focused on impressing them, I kind of forgot that I should have been qualifying them for us as well. And they weren't bad investors, they were really good in fact, but they just weren't right for us and what we were looking to do. And that was I suppose my first big lesson in the pitch world. Getting any investor isn't the win, getting the right one is, and that's what I really learned fairly quickly. Lesson was, it's an old one, but fail fast, learn, don't repeat. So I took my own words to heart, put that into preparing in advance for these sorts of things. It's not just about knowing your pitch, it's about knowing who you're pitching to, and more importantly, knowing whether they're right for you. That was the bit that I needed to add, which I didn't do in the first rounds. So anyway, lessons for those potential future founders hiding in plain sight. Prep isn't really optional. I found at least it's what gave me confidence to have conversations without reading everything out. Do your homework, tailor your message to who you're addressing. That's vitally important. And you'll have different people when you're speaking to, and you need to tailor it to each one, and your tone and your style and your message. And fit really does matter. Don't just chase investors, choose and chase the right ones. That's the most important thing of all. So anyway, that was it for episode 7, one with a difference. That's the Founder Files anyway. Real scars, real lessons, and real insights. See you in the next one.